Hello, I'm Otto and welcome to episode 45 of my Factorio Post Novice Guide. So in the last episode we created some rocket fuel using jelly and bioflux. I haven't really set this up to go yet. We're kind of like preparing for that. I also noticed that in the video I had my belts backwards. I didn't realize in the video, I actually didn't notice until I was doing some testing later on, but these were reversed. I had the nutrient storage on this side and then the burn off for the jelly and Yamako mash on this side. So I did go ahead and flip those. Yeah, so in this episode we are going to be creating some, well, we're going to start the process of getting through some getting to some of the basic materials that we need. So we're going to end up needing some green circuits, red circuits, blue circuits, some stuff like that. Like, I don't know how far we'll end up taking it. We'll get some LDS maybe. We want to be able to make the components for the rocket. That's what we're kind of getting to. There will be some other things that we need as well, but for now we're just going to leave it like that, or leave it at that, and we're going to start working on that process. So I need to take all of this down, most of this down, not quite all of it. Oh man. These bots are, yeah, let's go. Whew, they're getting much faster. Okay, so we're taking out most of this, and I'm going to be relocating our little, like, drop pod, cargo landing pad, whatever. Man, those bots are awesome. This is my favorite part of the game, when the bots are just, like, insanely fast. I mean, they're not even, like, insanely fast. You know what I mean? They are noticeably faster. Let's put it that way. Alright, so I'm just going to remove that so it doesn't get in the way. And I'm going to cut all of this and... Nope. I'm going to copy this first. So we're going to end up making iron here and copper here. So I want to have this be in kind of a central location. Ooh, look at this. Very nice. Get it out of the way. How far? 9K. Oh, that is so close. Are these full? Man, that is so close. Anyways, back to... I gotta stop getting sidetracked. I know it is what it is. Okay, so... the last time that I did this, I ended up not being able to do it properly because this guy wasn't playing nice. You know what? Maybe if I just put it back here, it'll be fine. Like somewhere down here. Let's do that. So I'm going to set up an area down here. And we're going to move it all down there. Okay, whatever. Let's remove that. And then I can paste it back in. Jeez, are my guys actually going that far? That's wild. Yeah, our range is quite large at this point. Oh, this is so awesome. It's such a great feeling when the bots are just too good for their own, like, man, they're gonna go through this like it's nothing. We have plenty of power for now, so that will be perfect. Okay, so let's get into the build. They can mess around with all that. And oh, look, we have a ton of seeds, so we're probably gonna do what I mentioned earlier. We're just gonna open up the floodgates and start to let the jelly nut and the Yamako just kind of flow through instead of doing this like self-contained thing. Another thing that we need to pay attention to is I've been paying attention to the pentapods in between episodes, and we're getting pretty close. So at the end of this episode, I'm probably going to go kill something over here, and then afterwards I'm just going to do a sweep around and make sure that we have a little bit of extra space to work with. We will finalize, like before we leave Gleba, we will have some kind of like permanent defenses up, just in case. And for those that have only started watching recently, for the sake of having a guide and what started out as a new player guide in the novice section, we did turn biter expansion off, so that's not necessarily something that we have to worry about. Enemy expansion, I should say. Anyways, so we kind of know what we're dealing with, right? So we're going to copy this. Surprise, surprise. And now we know what we can work with. So we need to look at the bacteria. For iron, we need jelly. So as you can see, it brings in 6 jelly and has a 10% chance to spit out iron bacteria. And the iron bacteria takes a minute to spoil and decay into iron ore. So I think what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to create a new ship, and we are going to start importing. Yeah, we'll just call it calcite ship. So we're going to start importing calcite from Volcanus. There are other ways to go about collecting calcite. We're not there yet, but I'm not really that worried about it. We're not going to be using that much. So the idea with this is we have one of these, and it will bring in jelly, try to create iron bacteria, and we will have others that will try to take that bacteria, use bioflux, and put out more bacteria. So it will bring in one and create 4 with a bioflux. So we have bioflux, we have jelly. And usually we have a little bit of both Yamako mash and jelly to spare. We definitely have jelly to spare in like this kind of setup. Yamako is a little bit more, you know, maybe. So anyways, we are going to have this one be over here. We're going to have 7 of these, and then we're going to copy all of this, and we're going to have this. Wait a minute. We're going to leave room for 2 belts in the middle. So I also left room for a belt on the lower side. We are going to have this come out in this direction and be exported. Can I make that full jump? Oh, I can. And we will have it come out through here. And then we will end up doing whatever we're going to do with iron, we're going to do over here. And whatever we're going to end up doing with copper, we're going to do over here. And I think we're going to use the foundry. So we can also go ahead and start the process of getting landfill down here. Now that our bots have very quickly moved all of our stuff over. So I'm not extending the city block just yet because I'm not ready to connect these. I will probably, you know, if we have time, we'll do that in this episode. We'll see what it would be like to kind of change it a little bit and get it going. And then I will, after the episode, I will just transfer all of them over. So anyways, this guy needs jelly. We are going to have jelly coming through here. This is our jelly and Yamako mash line. So that one is easy enough. And another thing that I haven't been doing that I really should have been doing, anything, and I mean anything that is exporting something. So this is putting jelly back onto the line. These all need to be filtered. And it's more like a precaution. You just really don't want to be putting spoilage, just in case you don't want to be putting spoilage back in like this. Like we have spoilage coming out on the line for our rocket fuel because we forgot to set the, or I forgot to set the filter for rocket fuel. So yeah, definitely something that you want to try to avoid, and make sure to filter anything and everything that is outputting stuff onto the belt, or you know, you really want to have that control to make sure you know where it's going. So the way that this is going to work is this guy is going to attempt to create bacteria. This one is going to not have these guys. This is bioflux. So these are going to bring in bacteria on the backside and put out bacteria. And we're going to filter this, but we're going to filter this for both bacteria, and iron ore. Again, just in case, as a precaution. And him too. So this one is going to have nutrients coming in, and he's going to have spoilage coming out. Thankfully, we have a nutrient spoilage line here, so he's just going to be allowed to dump his spoilage out here. That is fine. What else? We're going to need some power, so we can kind of just match what we have been doing. What is that, in between here? Sure. Works for me. I mean, it's really up to you whether or not you wanted to have like bioflux coming in here. I think that I'm just going to have bioflux coming in. Let's say there. So this is our bioflux line. And this is our nutrients line. There we go. Okay, so this is bioflux in. Doesn't need to be filtered, it can filter itself. This is going to be, let's say, spoilage out. This will need to be filtered. Need nutrients in. And bioflux in. Spoilage out, and then we just need nutrients in. Oh, no. I mean, so far, like, I know a lot of people really don't like Gleba, but we haven't had too many issues so far. To be fair, like I said before, we do have expansion turned off, and we also haven't really opened up the floodgates. I can tell you from my testing that, believe it or not, this is all going to be consuming probably more than we're going to be capable of bringing in on a single build, because we have 30 on one side, 30 on the other. We are planning on having the ability to have 4 lines though. And if we did have 4 lines, then we would, after each build, we would do a filter priority to the left and just kind of compress all of that up as much as we could. Conveniently, everything that is on its own lane will stay on its own lane. So this is not, we don't have to worry about any of this being mixed up. And then however many belts, like if we only had 2 belts, we'd have 2 of these. If we had 3 belts, we'd have 3 of these. You know, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that is basically our build. We're going to take this and we're going to copy. And pay attention to where our nutrients are. Our nutrients are going to be on the left-hand side. I need my containers to be on the left-hand side. Uh-oh. This is not gonna work. It is gonna work. Oh, perfect. All right. Hey, if they're happy, I'm happy. Okay, so another thing that I want to do, and I don't really... Oh, I did not get an output for this guy. All right. That's fine. Easy fix. I was like, I knew I forgot something. I just don't remember what it was. All right, so this is going to come out and... Now, these are going to be on 2 separate sides of the belt. We could actually technically have this come down and have this one be on the outside, because this is going to be placing this on the top. So this would be on the outside and this would be placed on the inside. I'm not going to do that. We're actually going to merge these. And the reason why we're going to merge these is because I want to be able to cut them off, because we're going to be reading the belt contents. I want this to read all. Actually, I hadn't quite decided on this. I think we might actually do something a little different. I know, here I go, doing stuff on the fly again, right? Because I want this to be able to detect if there is either iron or... the iron bacteria. So I'm going to tell this, if iron ore is less than 20, or if iron bacteria is less than 20, then output a check signal of 1. And then I'm going to tell this guy, enable if check is greater than 0. So that means that if we have basically any either iron bacteria or iron ore on this belt, this guy will stop crafting because his input will stop giving him materials. That will allow, you know, the nutrients to kind of die off, that, or what, not really. Once these nutrients go to spoilage, the spoilage goes out, new nutrients come in, whatever. It's perfectly fine. We are equipped to handle that, or will be. Okay, so over here is going to be the exact same thing. Yeah, sure. Read all belts. Iron ore or iron bacteria is less than 20, then this guy needs to be working. Okay, so he needs to output. Needs to output specifically the one that we want. Okay, so this allows us to kind of feed each other, or this allows them to kind of feed into themselves. So this guy will put the iron bacteria on the belt and then collect it. So then he will saturate himself. And then the other ones will do the same. Let's get that back in here. I need the nutrients to be on the left. Okay, and then so that is going to be it for the iron. For the copper, I'm not going to go over that in this episode. We're going to do some other stuff, but the copper is going to go here, and it's basically the exact same build, just swapping every single thing from iron ore to copper ore, from iron bacteria to copper bacteria, and instead of using jelly, it uses Yamako mash. So there's maybe a chance we might have to add another one of these, another one of the Yamaka mash, but you know what, we'll see. We're gonna wait and kind of turn everything on. Kind of soonish, actually. So I'm gonna start with one of these guys up here. Nope, I'm gonna start with one that is not doing anything. So we're gonna remove all of this. Basically everything, like everything can go. I want the positioning to stay the same. Okay, so we are going to have bots bringing in our seeds. This was the Yamako. It really doesn't matter how many they bring in. We can just say 20 or 10. Doesn't matter at all. And then we are going to have nice. So unfortunately, one of these territories will be invaded because I did leave a single lane between the two, so you can see that this one, this is not invading, and this one, this is not invading. I didn't leave two though, and I probably should have made it so that we could leave two. Do I actually want to do that? I might even just do that. Man, wouldn't it be nice if I had just done that? Because then our power tower would be fine as well. Just have them hanging out in the middle. Ah, whatever. And then I'm going to have a roboport over here to mess it all up. So if I were to stick the roboport just anywhere, it would automatically be using up 4 sections, 4 blocks. So I think we're going to kind of try to pair it up with the block that we're already using. That way we're only getting rid of 4 blocks total, plus it's near the power pole. Yeah, so that's effectively what we're going to end up doing. I'm going to have... that's going to give us some more... Do I have any? I do. So that's going to give us a little bit of extra territory. Because now some of these sections that didn't have anything being planted will now be planted. And then when we get the overgrowth soil, you can kind of see that a lot more of these plots are going to be usable because we are in the kind of greater biome. Whereas if we were to use this one, there's only so many extras that we can have. So yeah. But the downside is that once we start messing with that, wherever it went... Wait, did I unlock it? No. There. To be able to use it, we have to have biter eggs. That means we have to collect eggs from biters back on Novice and ship them here. Yeah, that's always fun. Okay, so I am going to run down and clear out one of the pentapod nests, just kind of down here out of the way. And then we are going to end the episode. So like I said, I've got a couple things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be adding in the copper here. I'm going to be straightening out all of these, prepping them for the overgrowth soil. I'm going to be doing the same thing for these down here. I will end up leaving this blueprint, and once I get everything kind of configured, I will, and I'm probably going to end up taking the towers down too. I was kind of initially planning on leaving the towers, but if I try to make it so that I can have 2 gaps in between each of these little snap points, then that'll be really great because that'll fit the substation. That'll allow for logistics and just minimal space being used. Okay, so let's go down here and fight one of these guys real quick. Hopefully we're still decently strong. They are kind of slowly evolving over time, but you know what? It is what it is. Oh yeah, we're still fine. As long as we don't take on more than we can handle. Thank you. Thank you, autosave. Man, those little flying ones. I'm trying to dodge them, but, you know, it is what it is. Ooh, they regen fast, too. Look at that. I would say that this is definitely where the action RPG skills have helped out, I guess. This very, very small portion of this game that requires a little bit of dodging. Anyways. Okay, so that is going to be it for me. That is going to be it for me for this episode. In the next episode, we are going to start setting up our ship. Where are you? No, not over Gleba. Did you set up over Novice? I generally probably wouldn't have done this at this point. I probably would have just made the iron and copper from kind of materials, just like whatever base materials, instead of using the foundry to try to do this kind of stuff. I generally like to wait until after Gleba before I really start changing ships around, or like I don't like adding too many ships before then, because we're going to end up getting this soon. The advanced asteroid processing. So this will actually allow us to collect calcite in orbit and get things like copper ore and sulfur, as well as increase our capabilities of making thruster fuel and thruster oxidizer. So usually once I get to that point, I will kind of revamp all of my ships and get rid of what we have. Well, I mean, get rid of most of what we have. I probably won't do that. We're not going to get rid of all of our ships. Some of the ones that are just going in between 2 planets, they can stay the way they are. It is completely unnecessary for them to be changed at all. But there will be some cases where ships, like for instance, this one here, He is our kind of main provider. We will end up destroying him and remaking him completely. 1, so that we can have more storage, and 2, so that he can withstand the trip to Aquilo once we decide that we are ready to take that on. Okay, so yeah, that is going to be it for me for this episode. I will see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.